Hello everyone, and welcome back to Humble Heart Horsemanship. My name is Sabrina. This is Gunner. I brought Gunner in because I honestly need some Gunner reassurance after this kind of crazy week and overall crazy day that I have had. There's been so much change this week. One of the first things that happened was the horses were scheduled to have their hooves trimmed, and they were I think maybe almost 2 weeks overdue for a trim. We had some crazy weather, and so my farrier was going to come out on the one day of the week that it started to blizzard, and he didn't message me for a full hour, and he was supposed to come an hour before. So anyways, he ended up sending me a text saying that he was running late because some of the roads were bad. And then half an hour later, he texted me and told me that he got kicked in the knee by a donkey, which is awful and sounds incredibly painful. He said he could barely bend his knee and that we would have to reschedule. And then the next day when he was supposed to come out, he didn't show up, and I sent him a text, and I'm assuming it was his wife, texted me back and said he's in surgery right now. And so my farrier ended up having to have surgery for his kneecap, and he's going to be out for 6 months. And I live in a pretty rural area, and the farriers that are here are pretty booked out, and there's one that's out of town all the time. He never really seems to be here. So that was kind of the first crazy thing. And the horses were overdue for a trim. So I have learned how to do a hoof trim before, and I did some more research, and we did a very minimal trim on these guys. I actually still have to do a quick little light trim on Gunner's back hooves. I did his front hooves yesterday, and I did Gemini's, and Gemini's were a lot easier because he has very round hooves, and Gunner has some flares in his front hooves because he has ring bone and some other conformation issues. And then we got another boarder this week, and that was exciting and fun. So I'm just really excited about the business. And what else? My grandparents are gifting me a beautiful brand new horse shelter for the horses, and it's made out of aluminum and really good metal, and the horses need a new shelter for several reasons. It's going to be great for boarders too. You can hear the goat coughing over there a little bit. Then the guy that was going to make the horse shelter, he didn't get back to me for a while. And when he finally did, he told me that he basically broke his pinky finger and that he was short-handed and that will likely take longer than what we were expecting to get the shelter made and delivered. So lots of crazy things happening. And today I brought Gemini in, he's out there, and I was going to film a video on how to bridle a horse. That's why you see Gemini's bridle here. I was going to film that video, and then it was the craziest time trying to get that filmed. He was so impatient, he wouldn't stand still. I was getting frustrated. Then we went outside, and I was trying to film it, and then the wind was crazy, and I said, I'm just stopping this. We're not going to do this. Because I was getting so impatient, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced that, where you're working with your horse and for whatever reason, could just be the day you're having, could be the mood you're in, you get so impatient that you're just angry, and you don't want to be like that around your horse. And I felt some guilt for having gotten to the point where I was so frustrated, and I was like, we're just gonna stop. And Gunner here, he's a saint, but he also is how old are you? You're almost 20? So Gemini is almost 5. He is 20 in April, and it shows. Can you guys tell? Look how chill he is. He is my sweet old soul, seasoned horse. He's seen it all. He's an older boy, and I don't know, I'm sure some of you guys can relate. When you have a horse that's like Gunner, you just appreciate how calm and well-trained they are and how used to you they are. And I'm gonna get there with Gemini, but today I just didn't have the patience. So I was like, we're gonna bring Gunner in and we're just gonna have a little chat, and I'm gonna do some carrot stretches with Gunner today because it's really good for him to get stretched out. Gunner is retired, you guys, for those of you who don't know, and you're so sweet. He really benefits from getting light exercise, and carrot stretches are really good for him because he does have arthritis, and you want to keep them somewhat, lightly fit. You licking me? But yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a wild week, and I just feel really weird today. But Gunner is going to help me feel better with some quality Gunner time. Look how cute he is, you guys. A few months ago I taught, what is he doing? A few months ago I taught Gunner and Gemini how to smile. Now Gemini got it a little bit faster than this guy, so he's still learning how to smile. But it's really cute. And see, he does that like when he wants a cookie, he tilts his head and just looks at the camera to be cute. And yep, it's worked for you a lot of the time, but not right this second because they don't have any cookies. So anyways, you guys, we're just gonna have a good little carrot stretch time, and I hope you enjoy spending some time with us on this really cold winter day while we do some carrot stretches in the barn. And Gunner obviously is excited and looking forward to getting some treats, so let's get into it. I don't know if you guys can relate, but do you also have a horse that always poops anytime you bring them in a barn or in a cross tie or in an arena? Because Gunner, he's looking away, but he is always the culprit. Okay, you guys, so for those of you who do not know what carrot stretches are, if you're curious, carrot stretches are basically where you stretch various parts of your horse's body using the motivation of like a treat or a carrot or apple, whatever kind of treat you want to give them. And carrot stretches are really good, or just stretching your horse in general, because it helps to promote flexibility, flexion. It gets them really mobile and loose in their body, and it has the same benefits, like for you when you stretch. It's just as good for the horses. So we're gonna do some carrot stretches, and I hope you guys enjoy watching. Also, today's treats are sponsored by Auntie Tabby, my sister, who sent horse treats from Oregon. They love these peppermint treats. So we're gonna do the flexing the neck one first. Gunner's really good at flexing. He's a pretty flexible guy. So basically you grab the treat and you show it to your horse. You pull it to right where your cinch would go, right here, and it helps to stretch their neck muscles. They have a big neck muscle here and then one that goes down. He's ready for the one that I do also that goes up between his legs. So we'll hold the treat here. Once he reaches it, you give it to him. Some horses are so stiff though, you guys, they can only flex to here. So you just gotta work them up to being able to flex all the way to the side of their tummies. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. After you do a few by where the cinch would be, I like to see if my horse can stretch a little bit further. So now we're gonna go a little bit further back, and he's still able to do it. Good boy. You can also do stretching without treats, like with Gemini. He actually, this past few months, I decided to, are you so ready for the treat? With Gemini, I don't give him treats by the hand because he is very pushy. You get kind of nippy if you give him a lot of treats out of your hands, and so we kind of stopped doing that, and now I know you want your next one. Oh wow, that was a pretty far reach. I now give Gemini treats only on the ground. That way he doesn't associate hands with food and gets kind of nippy that way. But Gunner, I say that now, Gunner doesn't have any problem usually with being pushy about treats. Ah, that's a good one, buddy. Of course, what you do on one side, you always got to practice on the other side. So now we're going to change what side we're working on. Look at you, are you getting fancy with your turns? Yeah? You can tell which side your horse struggles with a little bit more in terms of flexibility. Some horses are very much so one-sided, where they have one one side that they tend to stretch better with. And Gunner, he stretches pretty good going both ways, I think. Right, buddy? Boy. He's so soft. I wish you guys could pet him and feel how furry he is. He's like a woolly mammoth. I don't have a treat right now. I'm just petting you. He's so ahead of the game. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Yeah. So the next carrot stretch that we're going to do is actually holding the treat between Gunner's front legs like this. And it really looks like the horse is bowing. It's really good because when they lower their head and stretch their neck between their legs, it helps to lift their top line, which is their back essentially, and all the muscles that run through their spine. So it's really good for that. Provides a really good neck stretch as well. And when I first did it with Gunner, he could barely get like his nose between his legs. Now he can actually lower his head between his legs, but I noticed he does struggle a little bit more with it than some of the other carrot stretches that we do. So we're gonna do that one, and it's really cute because it looks like your horse is bowing. You guys, the first time that I did this particular carrot stretch with Gemini, he actually fell down. I was not forcing him at all, but he just didn't have the right balance to bow, and it was kind of adorably cute because he like lost his footing and like just fell down in the front. But Gunner is getting it down pretty well. So let's have you stand a little bit better. I know you're ready for it. Come on, Bubba's. Let's get a little bit more square. Gunner, go. Back. What are you doing? Oh. All right, so I'm going to show him the treat, and then, no. So I'm going to show him the treat first, kind of guide his nose between his legs, and just hold it there. Good boy. And you see, he's not super flexible with this one. He struggles a little bit, but he does try. Here, Bubba's. Oh, you're in class. Oh, there you go. That time I kind of like threw it into his mouth by accident. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. He's so cute, isn't he? Okay, the next one you guys are going to see me do, you might think it's a little bit weird to do unless you practice it yourself. Basically, I'm going to stand behind Gunner, and you're going to see me take like the base slash like the base of my palms like this and push up on either side of his tail. And what this one does, it actually helps to encourage your horse to round their back. An equine chiropractor actually showed me this last year when I lived in Oregon, and I had her come out and work on the boys, and she showed me this really, really cool stretch to do with them. And Gunner really benefits from this one I'm going to show you because, as you can tell, Gunner has a little bit of a sway back, and he kind of has like downhill conformation, meaning that his butt is a little higher than the front half of his body. You can kind of see that. So any exercise that you can do to help encourage your horse to round their back and really stretch all their muscles in their back is really good for a horse that has a sway back. So I'm going to show you that one next. Also keep in mind that you would not want to do this type of stretch slash exercise on a horse that you don't trust, that you don't know well. Gunner has never ever kicked me before, and I've owned him for a long time, and he's very easygoing. He is possibly like the most safest horse that I've ever worked with consistently, and he's really sweet and kind. And so I would not probably do this exercise on a horse that I wasn't that familiar with, or a horse that does have a tendency to kick. But since I do know Gunner and he's never kicked, which doesn't mean that he couldn't kick in the future, I feel safe doing this exercise on him. So let's give it a shot. So one thing I want to emphasize is if you do this exercise with your horse, it's really important that you are talking to them and letting them know that you're behind them. You don't want to just like walk straight up behind them and do this exercise. because they may get startled and kick. So I'm going to be putting my hands on his butt and talking to him so he knows I'm here. And then I'm going to take the base of my palms, like right here and right here, on either side of his tail, about like 3 inches or so down the side of his tail. And then I'm going to be pushing in and kind of up. And you don't want to like push your horse forward. I feel like there's been other times when I've done this and I've like added too much force. But your goal is just kind of to encourage the horse to tuck their butt in and round their back. So let's see how it goes. Sometimes I'm not so great at it, but we'll see. Good boy. Good boy. I think he rounded his back a little bit. It wasn't perfect, but I think it was okay. We're going to try it again. Good boy. Good boy. I would really love to hear from you guys if you do carrot stretches with your horse. He still thinks I have treats in my hands. I don't. I would love to hear from you guys if you do carrot stretches or any types of stretches with your horses. I think they're a really good thing to implement into your routine with your horse. And I know Gunner definitely benefits from them with being retired and all. And I try to do stretches with Gemini too. I probably should do them more than what I do right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for spending this afternoon with me just hanging out in the barn and enjoying doing some carrot stretches with Gunner Boy here. If you guys have not checked out my brand new Humble Heart Horsemanship Training Journal, you really should check it out. It is going to benefit you so much as a rider and as a horse owner. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, scroll down to the description box down below and click on the video link where I talk all about the riding journal that I created. And you can also find a link to purchase the journal down below as well. So make sure that you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. And Gunner here, who is desperate for more treats, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!